Breaking news.
Kind of. Apparently the CW and Warner Brothers Television are in talks to develop a brand new Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show for the 2018-2019 season.
This ain't your TGI Fridays, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is an all-new, all reimagined, The Dark Arts Sabrina. Yippee! Welcome back to Super Squad D. That's your host, Joseph.
That's Tyler. Boy, that's not how we normally do it, but I like it. It's a nice touch. And this is Super Squad D, where the D stands for...
The Dark Arts.
The Dark Arts.
The Dark Darts.
Let's have a timeout.
Time out!
Did you used to go to a TGI Fridays and in order to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch when it came on back in the day?
It was on TGIF.
Yeah. But TGI Fridays is a restaurant chain, and I just needed clarification.
Oh.
I just needed to know. So apparently Riverdale was successful enough for the CW to want to bring in a companion series to it. I don't know what Riverdale's ratings were like. I didn't think they were that high, but it was enough to continue Riverdale, and apparently enough to bring in Sabrina. According to Variety magazine, the potential series would be based on the Archie comic series Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which reimagines the origin and adventures of Sabrina as a dark coming-of-age story that traffics in horror, the occult, and witchcraft. The series is described as being tonally in the vein of horror classics like Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist, and we will see Sabrina wrestling to reconcile... There's some witchcraft. Whatever that was. Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa, Chief Creative Officer of Archie Comics, will serve as a writer and executive producer on Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Lee Toland Krieger, who has directed multiple episodes of Riverdale, will direct and executive produce. Greg Berlanti, Sarah Schechter, and John Goldwater, all executive producers on Riverdale, will also produce. Berlanti Productions will produce in association with Warner Brothers TV. Berlanti has a long-standing relationship with the network. He currently executive produces Riverdale, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl, and will also be the executive producer in the upcoming series Black Lightning.
So off the bat, what are your initial impressions?
My initial impression is that it sounds like they're trying to capitalize off of the success of something like American Horror Story, or even trying to bank into something like Supernatural, another CW show, something like that, trying to do more paranormal and a little bit less of your moody teen drama like Riverdale did. So that's what it seems like to me they're trying to tap into a little bit.
Personally, I would rather see them go the direction of Buffy.
I'm gonna give you all a nice, fun, normal evening if I have to kill every single person on the face of the earth to do it.
And a Monster of the Week type show. I think it's been way too long, and there's been a space that has been completely empty by the whole Buffy left. And I would love to see a reimagined Sabrina take in that space. Along with that, I think it could be really fun to bring in Riverdale characters as guest stars. I think that would be a cool way to connect the two shows, and I'm sure they're planning on doing that already. Knowing Greg Berlanti, they're definitely planning on doing a crossover, but I would like to see Sabrina the Teenage Witch in style of Buffy.
And that is what kind of confuses me a bit, because Riverdale does not strike me as the type of show that would have a lot of supernatural forces going on with it. Yeah. It kind of seems like it's trying a little too hard to be straight-laced. It's trying too hard to be really dramatic.
I like Riverdale. I think it's the right amount of drama.
But if that's the tone that they're setting with Riverdale, would it really fit to have too much crossover, too much tie-in? That's what I'm curious about. I think a lot of the reason why Sabrina the Teenage Witch is coming back is because a lot of fans of Riverdale were like, hey, they're doing Riverdale. Why don't they also do Sabrina the Teenage Witch? That would be interesting to see. So if they're going so far removed with it, I just wonder how they can make those two actually correlate.
And this is just speculation, but they may end up doing something where it's like a special Sabrina episode where the characters at Riverdale appear, but it's not in continuity with Riverdale. Maybe some type of a dream or an alternate reality or something like that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But, I mean, they may just end up saying, like, yeah, there's magic in the world of Riverdale and we just never knew it. It's like our world, but we just don't know. Maybe there's just magic hidden somewhere. Personally, I'm not a big fan of horror shows, when you try to mix genres of horror, drama, and then combine that with a Monster of the Week type show.
Not to mention it's also a coming-of-age teen show.
Exactly. I don't know that works super well, and I think, interestingly enough, Supernatural began similar to that in its season 1 and part of seasons 2.
Okay.
And they shifted away a little bit from that more horror feel, and they made it more of just a Monster of the Week, less scary, more just straightforward show.
Interesting. There's no telling what it'll actually look like, but they are pretty clear in the direction that they want to go with it. Something more horror-oriented. Something about her dealing with being half witch, half mortal. I mean, there's a lot of Buffy-type similarities that are going on with it already in the creation, so it does kind of make sense. But as of now, there's only in development stages, and it hasn't even technically been taken to series. There's a lot that could go on in the process. But the important question here that we like to ask each other when we're talking about upcoming movies and shows is not only what's your impression of it, but are you excited about it?
I would say, as of now, I am actually somewhat excited about it.
I'm so excited! I'm so excited!
Being a fan of Riverdale, I'm somewhat excited.
Okay.
How about you?
No, it holds very little interest to me.
Okay.
It's not really something that I didn't really care about Sabrina the Teenage Witch when I was growing up. You know, it was not one of my go-to shows.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for Riverdale as a show. So,
You're out.
And I don't
You're
care.
totally out.
And I don't care for horror shows to begin with. So yeah.
You're out. Let us know in the comments below. What do you think about the new Sabrina show? What type of direction would you like to see it take? And is this something you're going to give a shot, or are you out to begin with? That's Joseph.
That's Tyler.
And you've been watching Super Squad D.
Be sure to click like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You watch enough YouTube, you know what the drill is.
Where the D stands for The Dark Arts.
The drill. You know what the drill is. Click subscribe. I'll gladly give it a shot. I want to go on record as saying that I will give it a shot. I don't expect to really latch onto it, but I'll give it a shot.
Try anything once.
Yeah.